All right, guys, let's get into this. I just want to let you know where we stand with GameStop. It's the weekend going into probably a booming week. Probably a booming week. Um, I say it like that because nobody really knows what's going down with this stock. It's the most volatile stock I've seen. I mean, the only other more volatile stock is what? Nvidia, because they're pumping the crap out of that. Just to balance out what GameStop is and the threat that GameStop is to, I think, the market, because GameStop is in a basket, but they lump that basket in together. But GameStop's completely separate from all those that they associate it with. All the other ones are massively in debt or delisted. They don't have the same fundamentals, management, leadership, prospectus going forward. I say prospectus because I've been reading GameStop's SEC filings. Let's just say outlook going forward. And the outlook that they try to present to you in the media is a dying brick and mortar company, which it absolutely is not. They are leaning out by reducing specific stores, probably money losing stores, or stores where leases are up and they don't want to renew it in a high rent environment. It's just a terrible business decision to do that. The lighting's all messed up because I'm just recording on my cell phone right now. But these are just my weekend thoughts. I wanted to do a video, but nothing's really changed. I mean, everybody's seen what Roaring Kitty's done. He's here to support us, as GameStop investors. I think he loves the resolve that GameStop investors have, the elite investors, not the people that just jumped in recently. Other than that, GameStop right now is a threat with $1 billion in cash, about $1 billion in cash. People want to know what they spent the $200 million on. That's great. That's fine. I know it's going to be wisely spent, or at least with the best of intentions, with shareholders in mind and the company's best interests in mind, because Ryan Cohen holds 36.8 million. Yeah, I made a mistake. 36.8 billion shares. I was saying he has 36 point. If he had 36.8 billion shares, I'd dump everything, sell everything, get like 5 more jobs, and invest in GameStop. But that's not right. I'm not gonna clip it. I'm not gonna edit it. I don't care. It's rough. It's real. It's raw. It's me. So continuing on. Ryan Cohen has 36.8 million shares. It was over $2.5 billion. He sold zero. Larry Chang, the other board of director that is deeply invested, 65,000 shares, I think. Alan Adel, 560,000 shares. The other director, one of the other directors, there are two other, I believe, Jim Grube, um, Yang Zhu, I believe. But regardless, Ryan Cohen owns 36.8 million shares. He's the largest individual shareholder. It's in his best interest for it to go up. So he's going to make decisions that are in the best interest of the company, which in turn ends up being in the best interest of us. He pays himself $0. So there's nothing to doubt. There's nothing to be fearful of. There's no ulterior motives that we need to think about that management has, such as Aron and his private equity bros that he's been with, Apollo, since the beginning of time. That fool bought up Jaluka Resorts in Anguilla in the Caribbean. He pulled the whole private equity playbook. He was gutting that thing. He even put up you can barely find information on this. Barely. I have to look up cached pages, old reports. I'm trying to dig for this. You can go through court proceedings, seeing how everybody is blaming Adam Aron for how he mishandled the business, private equity playbook. He, thanks to Moran, shout out to Moran's, every time I say the words private equity, I feel like I'm ripping off of him, but I'm absolutely not. He's infinitely educated me on that, and it just automatically pops into my mind now. If I say it without giving credit to him, always know that it's credit to Marantz. But other than that, yeah. So that resort in Anguilla, he told all of the employees. I can't remember the amount of employees, but it's not the most well off country. It's a Caribbean island. The whole well being mainly depends on tourism. So he planned on shutting down this resort. The way he did it was so two-faced. The general way that he is, the way he treats his investors. He tells them one thing, all these quotes, checkmate. Um, Today we pounce with 8, when he really diluted it, flipped it, sold it to Antara for 66, 68 cents when it opened at 10. He could have sold it at 5, but guess what? There were no buyers at that price because they knew it was worthless. They don't want to get involved with Apollo and private equity and Adam Aron and all of that. So while he was over there, CEO, whatever his title was, probably CEO, I think he bought the resort. He told all of the employees that, oh, don't worry, your job's safe, this and that. You know, his standard playbook. He's a straight up politician. He's a vet with his words. I hate listening to him talk because you know he's straight lying through his teeth. Um, so he told all the employees, I'm scattered over here, but he told all the employees, don't worry, your job's safe, you're all good. And then he goes off auctioning all of the furniture in the rooms. And then when employees question him, he lies to their face, telling them, no, it's good. We're auctioning it off, but don't worry, it's just going to be owned by someone else. All the furniture is going to stay in the rooms. Your jobs are safe. Guess what? Bam, like that. Hit him from the side. Um, Job's gone. He's shutting it down. What a punk. Gone to Norwegian Cruise Lines. I believe he worked at Apollo. Everything is Apollo with this guy. He's there, but he's not even their butt buddy. He's not even their buddy. He is them. He is Apollo. How can you work for Apollo-run companies for so long, for decades, and being such a miserable CEO, miserable to your employees, your staff, your shareholders, everything, and you still get jobs? That's because you're a plant. You're an inside plant. You're a snake, slitherback, all of that. You're the complete opposite of what GameStop stands for, what Ryan Cohen stands for, what our retail shareholders stand for, the elitists. You're the opposite. You're disgusting. Thank goodness I do not have any of my money with you. Thank goodness from the beginning I have a good BS detector because I've been through stuff. I've seen all types of people. All types of people. I could read people like that. You know? Adam Aron, a straight up snake. Marantz was the first one from the GME community I can say that said that he was a snake. There's one other guy I used to follow. He's an AMC guy, but he absolutely despised Adam Aron. He was the first one I specifically, and this is from my experience, heard calling out Adam Aron, saying, going back in the day, he brought up the Jaluka Resorts thing. That turned me to looking up. He's gone now. I mean, he doesn't even care. I mean, unfortunately, his investment, he's a smart guy, but hey, he got into AMC hoping it turned around back then, but whatever. Basically, my point is, I'm going to end this soon. Basically, my point is Ryan Cohen is the complete opposite of what Adam Aron is, and I'm good with that. If you're the opposite of that, polar opposite, we're straight, man. He has all that money. We're worried about peanuts compared to what he's worried about. And he ain't even worried. He is not worried. We are straight. Our business is making profit now. Our expenses are going down. Our income is going up. I always say, what do you think is going to happen? The stock is going to go up eventually. Eventually it's going to be undeniable. And if you can imagine, if they dilute this thing, I mean, if you're one to believe that they manipulate this stock with our float locked up, which I mean is locked up, right? But there's no specific numbers. This is my opinion. I hope you form your opinion off of your research. I've done my research. I'm good. I'm stone cold investor, GameStop elitist investor. Yeah. Like, what more? I don't think it's just like, what's it? Beating a dead horse. That's basically what it is. I'm just rinse and repeat. I mean, it's just bullishness all around. The market doesn't show it. The stock price doesn't show it. But those are disconnected from business fundamentals. I mean, like I was saying, $1 billion in cash. The $200 million he spent wherever it went, I know it's in a good place. And I know he's trying his hardest. So I'm good with that, man. I always tell my children, I'm like, look, I don't care the results in the end. I just care that you do your best. You try your hardest. You get out there and you put effort into it. So you're proud of yourself. You know, that's what this guy's doing. He's working his, you know what, off all hours of the night. You can tell by his customer service online, on Twitter, all of that. So yeah, the $1 billion, minimal long-term debt. The only debt really there is like what, lease agreements, different things like that. That's standard operating procedure. Imagine GameStop if he sold right now. Right now, I think it's around 24.50 hovering. I saw on the 24-hour chart in Robinhood. But to the prior close, I believe if he sold those 45 million, if he did, which I doubt he's doing it. I know he's prepping. There's no way Roaring Kitty comes out with all that, with all the stuff he did, as is kind of saying like a salute to GameStop investors. There's no way he did all of that. Ryan Cohen pulls this thing. Oh, there goes Morant. So he's live. I gotta go. Imagine them with $2 billion, $3 billion, as Moran said. I said two just to double it, just to be like, hey, $2 billion, you got a problem when we're $1 billion, no debt? You're going to have a real problem when we're $2 billion and no debt. But Ryan did this, I believe, because he knows. I'm speeding this up. I got to watch my rants. Ryan did this because he knows what's coming. Warren Kitty knows what's coming. This is all consolidated. To me, this is good. Imagine if this pullback is consolidation. It's not. I think it could be a retest of all time on that falling wedge. But imagine us with $3 billion, $4 billion. We're going to wreck everything. We're that freight train that just cannot stop. And they are having nightmares tonight. Nightmares. All right, so that's my thoughts. Basically, to sum it up, anything Ryan Cohen does is going to be in the best interest of him, and which in turn ends up being in the best interest of us and our money and the company. And he's making sure GameStop's going to be here for decades. Not even a decade. Decades. Right now, we're at a decade. The sale happens. Say it happened right now. That's 2 decades. Okay? And whatever the technological transformation he's about to pull off, that's going to be another decade and then another decade. And we're going to be here to stay, and we will be known as the most elite investors. Buy and hold is what Warren Buffett says to do. But it's a problem when I want to do it. Get out of here, man. Get that crap out of here. I'm going to buy and hold till I die. And like I always say, my shares are going to my children. This is until the grave, and I don't care. Okay? I don't care. To the grave. BBBYQ, delisted. AMC, gonna be delisted, filing for bankruptcy. GameStop, to the moon, man. Let's go. Peace.